ABO testing. And then the RAD, that's where it gives you a positive or a negative. So these are two. So it is also important because when your partner, especially the female, is an RAD negative, and she gets pregnant, the subsequent pregnancy she needs to prepare. If not, it will affect the whole subsequent pregnancy. Because if the man is positive and she is negative, that's where the problem is. So it helps you prepare. When you come to the hospital, we have certain injections that we can give to the lady, and it makes you have your subsequent pregnancy very safe and healthy baby. When we also talk about the ABO incompatibility, maybe I am A positive, she is O positive or B positive. We have what's called the ABO incompatibility, that sometimes the baby can pick when he is delivered. So that also helps us, especially when a baby is delivered and the nurse tells you, oh, I can see that the eyes are yellow, so let's keep the baby here for a while. Some people, for some reasons, would want to take their baby away. But because of these reasons, we screen and we prepare you so that when these things happen, we're able to take good care of the father, the mother, and the baby for a healthy home, healthy family. Thank you. And then the second also is the genotyping. We've heard of sickle cell patients. So we have the blood grouping and then the blood typing. And the major problem we have had is the blood typing when we want to know the genotypes of the father, of the man, and then of the female. Because when there are abnormalities, those abnormalities impact the children, impact the whole family. So we want to know whether you have an abnormal hemoglobin chain or you have normal hemoglobin chain, and then we'll advise what to do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Amabel, what are some of the diseases that when tested for, you would advise that maybe with medical advice or medical diagnosis and prescriptions, the marriage can go ahead? And what are other diseases that it's medically advisable that the marriage might have to, be treated with caution? And if you can give some reasons around those issues.
Thank you very much. I think as Doug has just said, most of them, we can't say that we are preventing you. It's choice, actually. All we do is to advise you. Because when it comes to love matters, you have to be very careful. Else you end up putting yourself in trouble. So with the advice, some of the conditions, like he said, HIV/AIDS, for instance, yes, there are measures medically we can put in place that you can, it will reduce your risk or your chances of the other one not getting it. But what is the possibility that you can adhere to all those instructions or those things that you will not get yourself into it? Because when it comes to HIV, for instance, you are married couples, and Bible says that your body belongs to each other. And here is the case, I am HIV/AIDS. You would want, for example...
You are not HIV. The person is HIV.
Okay, anyway, thank you. So if the other person is HIV positive, your husband or your wife, you want to kiss, and they say don't do deep kissing, because here is the case, if you are not careful, because it's blood transmission, and then you go into and there are cuts, you can get it. Here is the case you are afraid. So these are the things we can tell you. As I said, don't go into deep things. But would you be able to maintain it, all those things throughout? And marriage is life. As for believers, as Christians, we don't marry. It's the journey of no return until death word. So if, for instance, you are 20 years and you get married, and God blesses you and you become 100 years, how many years you are staying with this person? Pardon me? 80 good years. Can you maintain these precautions throughout the 80 years of your life? And that is why we are saying that it is very important that when you are able to know all these things. Another example, like the genotype docs talk about, you are the sickle conditions. I'm sickled. My husband too is also sickle. At the end of the day, we are going to give birth to children who are odd, the one we normally call sickle cell disease conditions. And all these kids, if you are not careful, maybe I am AS, your husband is AS or I'm SS, he's also SS. We say, oh, we love each other. Let's marry, we will go. Now you marry, it means that your child is going to pick either the S of your husband and then maybe the S of yours, which is also a circle. Now you, the mother, you are sick. The father also will get into crisis. The child will also get into crisis. So you can imagine the kind of family you'll be running into. The happiness you say you are going in for, are you going to get it? And these are some of the things that we are saying that it's very important and very good that if you get to know. And precaution is, they say prevention is better than what? And then you are able to stay away. It's also going to help you, yourself, your family, your finances, the entire community, even the church. Because if you are not healthy, how can you come to church? Your child is sick today. Tomorrow your husband is sick. The whole community, your work, everything. So it's very important that if we know and we are able to put certain things, it goes a long way to help. I don't know if Dr. Frio will want to add to it.
Yes, so just as she has said, apart from the HIV, we have the hepatitis B, hepatitis C. Now with hepatitis C, it is treatable. They have medication, it's a sponsored program treatment. So you're able to treat it and you can clear that. So that wouldn't be an issue. Hepatitis B, we are able to manage it so that the viral load will come down. And then the other partner would vaccinate. So once the person vaccinates, you are free to do whatever thing you want to do. So it's also helpful that you know it before you go in, so that if there is, you can start management, treatment before it becomes worse. Because most of the liver cancers that we experience in the hospitals are from hepatitis B infections, hepatitis C infections. So once we know it on time, we're able to mitigate the untoward eventuality for you. So whether Hep B positive or Hep C positive, it's not a yardstick to say no, because we have what to do, we know what to do to help that family. But with the HIV, because of stigma, we educate you. We have what's called informed consent. We educate you, we tell you what are all the things that are involved, what will happen, and if you can. And the danger is that when you have met the lady, you know, she's looking all flamboyant, sparkling, you know, you look at the man, he has 6 packs and he drives in some Mercedes. You know, your body hormones, they produce chemicals that tells you that, hey, you can endure all things. But when life issue hits you, you realize that, no, you can't endure all things. So we take you through counseling, we take you through all the processes for you to understand so you can make a decision. That's also to say that it's not a yardstick to say you can't get married or you can't get married. So it's a decision that you can make through informed decision.
So does premarital counseling, especially from the medical side, does it play a major role in, I mean, especially when it comes to hepatitis B, which is you can manage of a sort? Does the person have to go through that? Let's say that there's I know there are normal and abnormal reactions when it comes to the test results. What role does premarital counseling play in such cases?
Okay, so I am the medical lead in my church for marriage committee. So I look at the labs for couples who want to get married. So we screen them, all these things we've said, we screen them. And if there are any defects, I take the responsibility. We have a hospital, so we refer them there, and then we start treatment. So through that, we can postpone your marriage for some while. That you are treated, we repeat the lab tests. Again, we are sure that your viral load is non-transmissible before we can allow you to get married. And then the other partner would also have to let him do vaccination. It's 3 times, 3 vaccines. You take those 3 vaccines, and we are sure that now you have protection, your partner also have protection, so the child is also protected. And when the child is born, we also give the vaccines to the child. So there's a healthy home, healthy family. With the HIV too, yes, we sit them down. With blood typing, we sit them down and we talk to them. So marriage counseling is very, very important. Very, very, very important. And then premarital counseling is very, very important because of these issues that are prop up in marriages.
Auntie Bell.
So this one, mostly that we say the marriage committee is delaying. Marriage committee, this one he has said, cannot come and tell the other partner because you are not married yet. It's a private issue for the other. So sometimes when you go and they tell you have patience, wait, these are some of the things that might be happening. Oh. You heard docs say that we can delay the marriage for some time until we realize that the person is what? It's healthy. So it happens that things are going, and when I went, that you are spreading it, it looks like committee is sabotaging your marriage. But they are not sabotaging the marriage. It's for your own good. Just have patience, and then you pray so that everything will move on successfully. So it's very, very important that when the committee is doing, committee does a lot on your behalf. So when it looks like, and I've been going and they are not telling me anything, we can't tell you because these are private issues. On the other hand, if we're to be you, would you have wished that we declare it? Once it's no, then it means that if the other one, let the committee and the person handle it. When everything goes on, then the Lord opens the time and things goes on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want us to delve a little bit into, I heard Doc talking about family medical history.
Yes.
Family medical history. Can we touch on that a little bit, Doc?
Okay. So we all come from somewhere. And there are two aspects of the family history. One is the hereditary history, and then the other is the family history. The family history comes with the lifestyle of that kind of family. And the hereditary are certain genetic patterns that are within the family that can go to the next generation. So for the sickle cell, it's a genetic problem. So if father is a trait, that means AS, and then the mother is also trait AS, there is 25% chances, 50% chances that all of your children will be SS. So we need to look at it. There's 50% chances that all of your children can be SS. There's also another possibility that none of your children will be SS. And
it's a gamble.
Yes, there's a possibility. But what we have experienced in our hospitals is that the possibility that there will be SS is higher than there wouldn't be SS.
The possibility that you have 50%.
50%. There's a possibility. It's 50-50. That your children, some could be AA, some could be SS, some could be AS. But majorly, the data that we have, most of them are SS. Wow. That's why we don't advise at all. Wow. SS, AS, AC. So we have different types, but the major one that we have in our sub-region is the A, the S, and then the C. So if we have the trait could be AC or AS. Then the disease is SC, SS, and CC. Okay. With the CC, most often they don't have episodes like that. But when it comes, it's brutal. They may grow normally, they may not have anything, but sometimes when they have crisis, you go and do circling turns negative and so, oh, let's forget, I'm sure the person is fine. You do electrophoresis and it's a CC, and their outcomes are very bad. Wow. But it's the SS that sometimes every now and then they're having crisis, so we are more conversant with, and then the SC too, sometimes they also have crisis, so we are more conversant with, but the CC, it also is a hideous genetic problems that happens. We also have other genetic challenges in the family that we also have to screen you for. It's very important. And so we also advise that if you are going to get married, it's not just the beauty or the handsomeness of the child. You need to go and investigate in this family, what kind of diseases do they have before you say yes, or before your heart start beating for that woman or your heart start beating for that man. And then I'm coming to the lifestyle. The lifestyle, for instance, in certain homes, the kind of food they eat, the time they go to bed, what they do. Some smoke, some drink alcohol. So it also affects the genetic patterns. So we also look at those things. So we ask in the family, is this thing happening there? What is their mental state? When they go through trouble, how do they solve the problems? We ask all those things before we say, now you are cool. Or we also assess you as an individual, whether you have the mental capacity to endure. So WHO definition of health is not that there is an absence of disease, but also your mental health, your social environmental stability, and your psychological and spiritual health is good. Before we say you are holistically healthy to go into relationship. So when it comes to marriage counseling, it takes a lot. And I have to advise that the fact that you have started marriage counseling doesn't mean that you should get married. People always think that because they have started marriage counseling, the end is marriage. No, it is to make you aware of the things that are in marriage, whether you can manage them or you can't, and then you make a decision. So please don't come to marriage counseling thinking that it is the end. No, it is not the end. In my church recently, I counseled some young lady, and then I went to visit and I asked, "Oh, I saw that you guys had finished everything. Well, I didn't see the wedding." Say, "Oh, we cancel it." Then I why? He said, "Because we considered this and this, and then realized that we will have problems." So they canceled it. And I was happy that, yes, they were able to make decisions that would impact their lives forever. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, Mama Bell, is there some, when you look at the sickling situations, two people are there some particular genotypes that you wouldn't advise, specifically, that from a medical standpoint, that they come together in marriage? I want to be very, very specific about it so that people are knowledgeable in this area.
Yes, there are. And that is the SS Doc talked about. So if you, the woman, is SS, the husband is SS, as he said, this one, but I don't think it's 50% possibility. It's 100% that you are going to bring forth all sickling children. So that one, we are not going to encourage you, if only you will listen, not to go into it. And then something like you are SS, then probably the husband is also AS. That one too is not advisable because the chances of the kid picking the S throughout is higher than the combination of the A and your S. Because I am 100%, for example, ASS, and my husband is AS. It can also cause trouble. So in that case, we wouldn't encourage or advise that you go into it. I will leave the rest to Dr. Asmeni to continue.
Doc, please, can you throw more light on that one too?
Yes. If you ask me, based on experiences and my experience as a doctor, I'll always say that if there is any traits, they always have something to say, don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go and try. So if AS, please don't go there. Even if the one is SS and one is AA, please don't go there. Try and find somebody that you can give birth to and they are healthy children. One is also to help populate people who have healthy genotypes. Because if an AA marries an SS, you know what happens? All your children will be, some will be SS, some will be AS. What if they also go and meet another person who is also AS? That means that your generation is continuing with those abnormal genes, and it doesn't help. So for me, please, so you also ask, so what about those who are also SS and they meet someone who is AA? In that condition, that one you also be counsel right, to be, if you can get married, fine. Because they should also be able to at least have children. But majorly, if you have other choices that will help you, I would advise that please go for the normal change, the AAs. And then also she mentioned about SS and then SC. SC, no-go area, because all your children will have the disease. If someone has CC with SS, no-go area, you don't go and dumble there at all. And then, so these three aspects. CC, SS, SC. Both of you have all these things, please. There's no chance, it is 100%. And you will not enjoy your home.
So, two people having sickling traits, it is not advisable that they marry.
It is not advisable. But if you want to, that's what we say, we'll give you counsel. Right? We'll counsel you. If you want
counseling as what you should expect.
What you should be expecting. If you are ready to leave your work to take your children to the hospital, fine. And the truth is that sometimes the children, they'll be cursing their parents. When they first say, they curse them and say, but you are knowledgeable and you are putting us through continuous pain. Is it because they'll tell your filthy love, you are suffering? Because I've heard a lot of people. They will blame you. Every day they are sick, they'll be blaming you. It's because of my parent. That's why I'm here. Every day. Every day. So please don't let your children blame you. But in certain scenarios where a lady is SS and he has found a man who is AA, and one we have to consider, and I want to have to counsel you, because if not, you won't get anyone to marry. Or the man is SS and you find a woman who is AA. That one will counsel you, and you also get married. If not, you also can't get married. So there are considerations in these areas, but it comes with informed decision.
So AASS, AASC.
SS.
So there's a possibility.
AAC. So if one person has a trait and the next has the full disease, no-go area.
No-go area.
If one person has a full-blown disease and the other does not have any of the disease, there's a consideration through informed decision.
Okay.
Yes. So that means that if the man is AA and the woman is SS, that means that their children, they will be carriers. So there is consideration, but that comes with informed decision. Your doctor would have to talk to you and make sure you understand what you are going to go through. Okay? Likewise, the woman. If the woman also is AA and the man is SS, you can get married. This is because your children will be carriers. You understand? But that also comes through education. But one being a trait and the other being a full-blown disease, we don't advise. Or both of you having a disease, we don't advise.
Okay. I think we've talked a bit more about this. I want to move into other areas about fertility. People marry, or we marry. One of the key reasons why we marry is that we want to have children. We want to reproduce. And as the Bible says, fill the earth. Of course, no one person can fill the whole earth. Auntie Bell, can you please help us with how a healthy lifestyle can improve fertility? Then Doc will also touch on it. We'll touch on this one briefly and move into other issues.
Yes, a healthy lifestyle can either can help with your fertility issues. On the other hand, unhealthy lifestyle can also affect your fertility issues. So, for instance, when Doc was talking about the family traits and all that, he's talking about smoking. So, if you smoke, it can have effect on your fertility.
Okay.
Yes. If you drink too much alcohol, it can also have effect on your what? On your fertility. Okay. Obesity also affects. You are just eating and eating and eating and becoming big all the time, building the fat. It takes over and it can also affect your fertility. Lack of exercise. If you don't also exercise and all the time you are in bed, all the time it can also go a long way to affect your fertility. So habits, health habits or certain habits can also affect your fertility. So it's very important that we watch all these things, what you take in, especially the diet, the things that you're supposed to eat so that it will help you not to affect your fertility is also very important.
Doc, please, can you touch on the factors that affect fertility in both men and women?
Okay, so one, Ms. Bell has mentioned them, lifestyle. It can affect your fertility. Smoking, and majorly is smoking cigarettes, tobacco. Because tobacco has very dangerous chemical component that touches every cell in your tissue. In fact, when you are in exam, medical exam, and they ask you that, mention one high risk factor for a disease. When you mention smoking tobacco, any disease at all, when you mention smoking tobacco, you get it correct. Because it causes a lot of problems. So that is one. Lifestyle, obesity, as she has mentioned. You need to also exercise to reduce your weight. What you eat is very, very important. Secondly, also infections. Infections. There are some infections that can affect your sperm health, your sperm production. So you also have to look at that. And then the females also. Sometimes they have poorly treated sexually transmitted disease. And yes, they may conceive. But most of them are prone to having also ectopic pregnancy. So you come, yes, you are pregnant, but we have to take that baby out because the baby is at the wrong place. And sometimes it becomes so bad that we have to remove the whole womb. So when it happens that it has affected your fertility. So these are some of the high-risk things. And then also exposure to certain radiations. There are some people who work in certain areas that makes them exposed to certain radiations like X-rays. You are in the X-ray department, you are not wearing your lead jacket. It affects that. Those who also work in chemical industries, that you come in contact with some chemicals. They are very important. They also sometimes affect fertility. You work in an area where you use a lot of heat. Maybe you are in Valco, you are melting aluminum and all those things. You are in heat. It can also affect your fertility. You are a big truck driver. Sometimes those old trucks, they had their engine close to you and they become a bit hot. The reason the male, your scrotum is outside is that it needs a good temperature. So excess heat can affect the spermatozoid production. So it's also very important. Exercise, eating healthy diet is also very important. Some of us now, we don't eat healthy. It is at night that we get our indomie and sardine. We eat. It doesn't help with good sperm production. Other aspect also is some kind of medications that we take, especially steroids. Some men want to look fair, some women want to look fair because we have the idea that when somebody is fair, the person is intelligent, the person is more welcoming. It's not true. So people intend taking, steroids. Either they apply it on their body or they take it orally. It is not healthy. There's also another thing that had come up. People want their children to be fair. So for someone who has an ebony color or has a dark, beautiful color, takes in medicine so that when they get pregnant, their children will be fair. It can affect your fertility. Not only you, it can affect that child. If the child is a female or a male, when they grow up, it can also affect their fertility. So we should look at all these things and then avoid them. Healthy lifestyle is very, very important. Exercise is very, very important. And healthy eating is also very, very important for our fertility. Thank you.
Then the women, untreated candida, not well treated. So that one too, we have to watch. Because the more, if you don't treat it well, it causes the pelvic floor to be what? Inflamed. And that can, in the future, affect your fertility as well. So don't say me, it's normal. Oh, this white, I'm always, no, please. Make sure as much as possible you treat it and treat it well and put all the preventive measures in place so that it doesn't affect your fertility in future. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry.
So just as I said, treat it well. That means come to the hospital so that we'll treat it. Don't go to the nearby pharmacy over the counter or some herbal shop.
Doc, you are speaking to the women, right?
Or to everybody.
Everybody.
Even sexual transmitted disease is even for everybody. With a candida, yes.
But that somebody
female
has to maybe go through, maybe has a sexually transmitted disease. Does it only come or unite those, when it comes to that area, through sexual, because there are people who might not have gone through any sexual disease, but they find themselves having such infections.
Okay. So we have normal sexually transmitted disease, and then we have urinary tract infections. The first one that is most common among the females is the candidiasis. The candida, you see, for the females, the closeness of their anus to their front is very close. So sometimes when they use the toilet and they are cleaning, they clean from up down, so they contaminate the front. Some also have the habit of eating sugary or highly complex carbohydrate diets in the night. And, when it breaks down, it produces a lot of sugar. And the candida likes sugary stuff. So it happens that they have a lot of candidiasis. And when you have it, please come to the hospital. Let us treat you well. Now, with the urinary tract infection, it can also be sexually or lifestyle, especially if you are in a community where you are sharing a washroom with a lot of people. And then your own personal hygiene is also very important. So for the females, sometimes they feel shy to hang their underwears in the sun. So they keep it, and then it just air dries. you see, when you dry something in a cool place, molds form in it. So we advise that if you are going to wear, you iron the inner parts of your underwear before you wear it. By that time, you may have killed all those invisible particles that are there. When you have symptoms of urinary tract infection, please come to the hospital. We will give you first medication, then we'll take your urine for culture and sensitivity. So the culture and sensitivity will tell you that, okay, it is this bacteria that is there, and this antibiotics is very effective against it. Then we'll treat it, and we'll treat it over a number of days. When we want to treat it ourselves, maybe you take the medicine for 2 days and you don't see the symptoms, then you stop taking it. But that organism is there, and it's causing problems in the urinary tract. So after a while, you realize that if you are urinating as a man, you have to squeeze yourself hard before the urine will come. It's because there are strictures within your urethra, and it will go a long way to affect you when you grow older. So yes, there are some that will come, not just because you have sex, but because of hygiene purposes. You are in a lecture, you feel like urinating, please excuse yourself, go and urinate. Don't keep the urine there, because the urine has a certain pH. That is a condition where it must stay for a while. If it stays longer, it begins to decompose, it changes the condition in your urethra, and it causes what's called opportunistic infections. I don't know, should I go further on the spectrum of opportunistic infection?
I know we have a serious lecture here, but it all affects fertility.
Yes.
And it should be checked and,
yes,
dealt with.
Yes.
All right, we'll go straight into how young couples, because a lot of young couples are marrying in our churches nowadays, and they don't know how to handle themselves when pregnancy steps in. The stress and the difficulty it comes with. So what are some of the preparations young couples need to have knowledge of, and what they need to do in order not to, go through a certain situation that can, affect the marriage in a negative way? Amabel.
They said there's an adage that marriage is not for children. It's very important that it is all part of the preparation. That is why we are here today, trying to let you understand that, not that we are trying to kill your joy for marriage, but it is a responsibility. So if you want to enter into it, you have to prepare yourself and make sure that you are ready for that responsibility you are going for. So the first responsibility have to be with you, your physical, your physique, that you have to prepare. You have to prepare the mind as a woman. Definitely, once you are saying, I love you, yes, I do, I go. When you go into it, pregnancy will come. Are you ready for the pregnancy? Are you ready to handle it? And pregnancy, depending on the individual, comes with a whole lot of conditions, a whole lot of issues. Some vomiting, some can even sleep in the hospital throughout the pregnancy. So if you are not physically prepared for these things, it can go a long way to affect you. Emotionally, are you ready? Are you able to handle the stresses that will come alongside the pregnancy? So emotionally, you have to get your mind prepared, get your mind ready for such situation when it happens to you that, okay, this one. And most of it, what happens is that when you are well prepared and you are ready for it, you are able to handle whatever challenges that comes with it. Or when you are aware. But when you are like you are not aware, or me, I'm not ready for it, that is when it hits you, it becomes another issue altogether. So you have to prepare emotionally and also financially, because it comes with financial stress. Now an addition is coming. Even what you eat when you are pregnant changes. It can change automatically. You will crave for things that you are not even ready for. In that case, financially, would you be able to afford? So when you want to go into it, make sure that financially you have prepared. You have at least a little. We are not saying that go and get a whole money, but at least something that can support it. That is why most often when you want to and you come to marriage committee, we want to make sure that at least you have something doing, that at the end of the month you get some earnings, so that when you marry, an addition is coming, it's not going to have a toll on your finances. And both of you are supposed to plan. Put yourself together, you communicate, and then you plan.
So with this, what you are saying is that it's difficult for one person alone to handle this issue.
Exactly. The woman alone cannot handle, the man alone cannot handle. So it's the two of you that are supposed to come together at this stage. Then you plan. At the end of the month, what are we using our money for? What are we going to do? An addition is coming. You allocate, you budget, and make sure that you discipline yourself and work according to the budget. So that it will not be like we the women. I went to the market, I've seen a bag. That time you don't need a bag, but you want to buy. That is where it's also going to bring a toll on your finances. If you are not careful, it can also affect and bring stresses during the pregnancy. And sometimes with the home support, you need to get home support, other support, because pregnancy is not one person's situation to handle or responsibility. So you have to get support, especially when you are in the working class. Your husband is working, you are also working. The two of you come together, you plan. What are we going to do when this, even during your pregnancy? As I said, some can spend their whole life pregnancy, 9 months, on a hospital bed. Should it happen that way, how are we going to handle? Who is coming to help him? So you can get friend support, family support, even church support, and all that is also very, very important. So I think this is the little I can say when it comes to that aspect.
Doc, please, can you touch on the role fathers and husbands should play when pregnancy sets in, especially in the area of maternal care, antenatal care, how to handle the woman, and so on and so forth?
Thank you. You know, this aspect is very interesting because sometimes when a woman comes to the hospital, she comes alone. But when a man is coming, you see them, they come with their husbands. Most often, men run away from responsibilities. And I believe that we have very responsible men here. Do we have responsible men here? Can I see your way? Responsibility in marriage is very, very, very important. The African way that, I don't know whether it's a wrong perception we've had, but they always say that the man is the head, so the man doesn't do chores. The man doesn't sweep the house, the man doesn't wash bowls, the man doesn't cook. It's wrong. When your wife is pregnant, it is you who have put her in that state. And a lot of things change in her. I believe there are some mothers here. You see, once you get pregnant, you are not you again. It's until you have delivered, and after a year that you begin to recover yourself that, okay, hey, I am Amma, or I am Ifya. A lot of things change. So the men, we always say that once your wife gets pregnant, you have to be very, very close. You have to be supportive. You have to support her at home. You have to understand her. Sometimes she's tired. She has not done anything. She's tired. Yes, you must go and then do the chores. If you have someone who can come and help at home, that's fantastic. Okay? The monetary aspect also, you must be giving her something. And the thing I like about women is that those who are they are not spending, they are able to save money and to help themselves when emergencies happen for them to come to the hospital. So you must also support them financially. And then you must also support them psychologically. The touch. Women have what's called love communication, right? During that period, they need it more. The touch, the emotional support, the physical support, those communications that makes them feel relaxed. You need to give that to them as well. And then for the women, yes, a lot of things will change in you, but you also have to be very responsible. Just as Mommy said, when you get pregnant, there are a lot of things that you experience. Some we call it a perverse appetite. You want to eat everything. And when you smell something, you want to eat it, please. Have restraints. I remember one time when my wife was pregnant with her first child, around 1 a.m., she called that she wanted to eat chocolate. I have to drive to Osu, get chocolate. And when he came, he just took one bite and that was all. So you get perverse appetite. And some of those perverseness will make you eat a lot of sugary stuff that will cause you to maybe have even pregnancy-induced diabetes, or will cause your baby to grow so big that you may not be able to deliver vaginally. So there you also have to take responsibility, because that one your husband cannot do it for you. Your antenatal, you have to also take it seriously. So medically, we advise that once you notice that you are pregnant, you only know when your next menses doesn't flow and you go and do tests, right? So when you just notice that, please go and do a scan. Then visit the antenatal. They will give you a scheduled date to start antenatal care. It is very important. And once you notice that, one of the preparations is that you also have to start taking folic acid. So you are going to get married. A month, Ms. B talk about planning. You have to plan when you want to give birth. That's one thing. When we get married, we are not going to get pregnant maybe in the next month or in the next year because we have academic stuff. So we advise on family planning. Once you know that you want to get pregnant immediately after marriage, then you have to also prepare medically. One, you have to check your blood pressure. You have to check your blood sugar. These two are very, very important for you because they can also manifest in the pregnancy, which may complicate the pregnancy. So these are some of the responsibilities that you need as a woman, and then as a man, the emotional, the financial, the physical supports, they must be there. Please accompany them to ANC. I accompany my wife to ANC all the time. So, and they feel comfortable, they feel relaxed, they feel loved.
That's when they are going for
ANC.
ANC
all her visitations.
ANC means
the antenatal. When you are pregnant, you are going for the pregnancy clinic where checkups. I went with my wife all the time. You may not have the luxury, but at least 2 or 3 times within that visit, please go with her and ask doctors questions about the pregnancy, about what you need to, what you experience and all that. You need to ask questions. And when you go with them, it really gives them some comfort and some peace. And the baby will smile in there. Thank you.
And in that case too, you'll be able to know what is happening. So that when the woman is doing anything or anything is coming up, you are able to help. Sometimes the men can even detect faster that, oh, this one it was like this. The baby movement, the last 2 days it was like this. But today it's not like that. And then you can help also. And this, the husband involvement during pregnancy, it is a must too. Especially when you go outside the country. It is a must. That one you can't run away from it. That you, the man, have to accompany the woman to the clinic anytime it's her visit to visit. So let's take note of it and make sure that we support the women. In that manner, you realize that psychologically, physically, all the stress also what? Calm down. And if there are certain decisions that we are supposed to take, most often they come and, yeah, unless I go to my husband. Meanwhile, sometimes it's immediate. That we need an action to be done. Not that we are going to look for the husband somewhere.
So if both of them were there,
it goes a long way to help. So please, let's help.
This will be the last question, then we'll take questions from the audience. I want us to talk about postpartum depression. Something that, personally, I never knew about it. And the consequences were dire. And I think a lot of young people marrying don't know that after their wives deliver, there are certain things that troop into the family, especially from the woman's side, and how to handle it. So, Doc, can you talk briefly on that? Auntie Bell touch briefly on that, then we'll take questions from the audience.
Okay, so first of all, before you get married, you must be sure that you have good mental states. Your mental states must be healthy, must be strong. Because pregnancy itself and delivery itself is a problem. And just I also mentioned about husband support, family support is also very, very important. So all this helps the pregnant woman to have a good mental state so that when they deliver, the chances of getting to those depression is low. It is women who have a lot of mental instability in their marriage during pregnancy that have the high susceptibility to have postpartum blues, postpartum depression, and postpartum psychosis. It's such people. So it is advised that once you make a decision that you are going to get married, make sure that your mental health is intact. You shouldn't be somebody who easily gets angry and when it happens, you can't control things. Be sure that you're able to control things mentally. The husband, you must also support your wives emotionally and mentally. The family. In some families, once you get married now, they tell you, hey, 2 days, we want our children to come out. Where's my grandchild? And they put pressure. So the woman, even when they are having sex, hey, this one, what if I don't get pregnant? So we have what's called the amygdala. It's the seat of emotions. And that affects your hypothalamus, your pituitary, and affect the outcomes of childbirth. So it's very important that not just you and your husband, the father, the family also plays a significant role. So if you have loving and supportive in-laws, it also goes a long way. So in short, I should say that the man, you who lives closer, or you and your wife, you have to play the major role of making sure that she is mentally stable. Always supporting her. Always supporting her. And during that period of delivery, the support is even more. Your support will be very more. So you need to ask permission from your workplace, get some
leave.
Paternity leave, so that you can support. Because the first 1 week is not easy. And I'll tell you some of the things you should be suspecting, and then you mitigate. Sometimes she easily gets angry. Sometimes she wants to carry and cuddle baby, but she will be putting baby away. Even when baby is crying. Yes, but she's putting baby away. You need to be observant. That is telling that something is happening. And you need counseling. You need medical support. You need family support. You need social interventions so that you can take quick action and bring her to the hospital so that she'll be taken care of. Because if you don't, the first 1 week is called the postpartum blues. So these things are happening. If you don't work on it quickly, then you are getting into the depression, then you are getting into the psychosis, and it can linger on to almost a year. And I have a senior colleague who committed suicide because of postpartum depression. Because in Africa, they say, my wife, when she delivered, the following day she pound fufu for me to eat, so you two should be able. Please, we are in different age. So mothers and fathers who are here, please support your in-laws. When they give birth, go support them emotionally, support them physically. And it helps with the outcomes of pregnancy. Thank you.
The little I want to touch also, as Doctor just ended, it is an entire responsibility. That is why the whole family, that is why we have to plan and prepare. So don't leave it, and mostly when he's going through, every woman have delivered. Are you the only woman who have delivered? This is normal, it will go. Please, let's have a listening ear. We are individuals, and how we are able to handle stresses. Because the addition that have added is a whole stress on the woman. The 9 months she went through, the hormonal changes and everything is a whole stress on her. And now the baby coming out with responsibility. Sometimes some babies, the first 3 months, you never sleep in the night. Throughout the night, baby is crying. You have to attend to. And this has never happened in your life. It's your first time. So if you don't get the support and you don't get the help and you are to handle it, that goes a long way, can break you down. And then sometimes we think that, you do too much. Why? And sometimes we, the women, I can do. Please, at that time, seek support. Mostly we advise that before you deliver, get a support. Get someone who will help you. And then also learn each other's temperament. Because there are some of the temperaments who can handle stresses very well. There are some of the temperaments, they are not able to handle stresses at all. So in that case, if you know that this my partner, he's the type that cannot handle it, don't add more the injury towards the wounds he's going through already. Know how you will handle her or you handle him so that at that period, the pressure or the stresses will come down. So it's very, very important that you are able to know your partner's, temperament. The temperament will also help. And learn. Don't say that, and I won't do it. No. That is her temperament. She can't do anything. And you too, if you can do something about your temperament, you are too emotional. Everything you want to put, please. Some of the things overlook. It's life situation. It will come and pass. But if you want to go, I'm the detailed type. I want to do everything perfectly. When you give birth, please, that one have to change. Because especially at the toddler stage, you will put it here, you tell you, no, here is not good, let's put it here. You come and your whole house has turned upside down. So let's try and let certain things go. That one will also help us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's clap for our panelists. You have done a wonderful justice to the topics. Amen. So we have some few minutes to take some questions. Please, when you come, don't come and give me narratives. Just go straight and ask the question so that we can address it and go into the rest of the service. Dr. Evelyn Opare Asare, please, microphone. The way it is, we have some shortages, so you might have to come forward, please, if you don't mind. Please come forward, I beg you. Or some more you can.
Good morning. Please, I want to ask a question concerning the first part we handled about those yet to marry. And I want to ask about fibroid. I think these days people marry and we are hearing a lot of issues about fibroid. So as young people who are yet to marry, are there things we have to check? Probably heavy bleeding. Some people say, okay, my menses when it's coming, I go through all this. So are there things people have to check? And if you realize sometimes you hear people tell you, I checked and they said I have fibroid. Then I tell them, okay, so go talk to those who then they want to keep it to themselves. What advice will you give to people? Some, they say they go and they tell them, wait, when you marry, then we hear some of those things. What advice can you give in relation to that? And we touch on the infection, especially students who are in the hall. Some of us have been schooling all our lives. So what should we do? You treat, you go back, treat again. What advice should we give people who are in that state? They are there still using the washrooms anyway, so what should they do? Then, okay, so concerning keeping things for us, I think it applies to the second part too. People marry at the beginning, things, you are not familiar with a lot of things. Mama Bell can admit how I disturb her over little things. But what I see sometimes is that some of my people want to keep things for themselves. It's between me and my husband. And sometimes it becomes very big. So what advice? I remember one time I went to the hospital and they gave me Diwema. And by then I was pregnant. So it's my mommy there and Mama Nsenda helped me. Initially I said I will not take it, so I brought it home. Then my husband said, no, let's take this up. So if I were not to talk to people, I was already aware that when you are pregnant, you don't take Diwema. So if I were not to talk to people, I'll be in trouble. So what advice should we give to people? Sometimes some people tell you it's between me and my husband. Unless my husband agrees, I cannot go forward. What advice should we give to those people?
Okay. Auntie Bell, we begin with you.
Okay, concerning the issue of the fibroids, yes, it's part of women can grow fibroid because it's a condition of the uterus or the womb. So it's women that grow fibroids, and there are solutions to it. So when you go, it happens that you've taken a scan, and there's an indication that you have the fibroid. Yes, sometimes depending on the size and the location, they might tell you that, oh, this one is insignificant. So because of that, just let it be, manage it. When you give birth, probably it will go, or we will take care of it. As I said, depending on the location of the fibroid, where it's located, and also the size. Sometimes the size is so small that you don't need to go, because mostly the solution is surgery for fibroids. If anyone sits at the community center and tells you that you have a medication that can melt fibroid, please, it's a lie. Fibroid cannot be melted by any medications. It is surgically removed. So please, when you go and it happens that your own is big and they are suggesting that they have to do a surgery, don't be afraid. Because the more you keep it, the more it destroys your life. Some people will keep it. By the time they come, you have to take the whole uterus. They've never given birth before. Have you done good to yourself or not? But if you have taken a quick action or immediate action, and even the surgery was the option and it was taken, or you would have your uterus back. That is your womb back without a challenge. When the fibroid is removed, it does not mean you can't give birth. So let's also take that mist. It's a mist. You can definitely give birth. So please, let's take action, because the more it's even you are carrying it, it's just like a baby. It's growing. It's feeding on you. So it will be feeding on your blood. Let me put it that way, literally, so you understand. So all the time you'll be bleeding. You are having low HB. If you are not careful, it can even cost your life. So please, there's nothing. I always say that there's no secret in this world. Though. The thing you think you are keeping it as a secret. So why are you keeping it as a secret? And this is health issue. Your life is at stake here. And then let's enter into, this is me and my husband issue. Sometimes too much secrets, as I said, will also not help. If it's about health, just find a trusted person. Or no, go to the hospital. He doesn't know your home. He doesn't know anybody that will come and say that, oh, this person reported to the hospital with that. It's even against our ethics. No doctor or a nurse or a health practitioner would go to that extent. So please, when there are issues, especially during health issues, during the marital state, please try and visit the hospital. Find a trusted person. Share with it. There are solutions, by God's grace, to every situation, to me. And they say a problem shared is half solved. But if you keep it, this is a family issue. I don't want to let everybody know that this is how my husband treats me. And at the end, you are dying. It won't help. So that is a little I can also say. Thank you.
What about the students using public toilets, candidiasis?
Yes. Talking about the candida, it is, as we initially said, it is lifestyle. So please, as ladies, let's watch our lifestyle. You can't say that you avoid the public or sharing toilets or the, the washroom. You have to put certain measures in place that will help. So mostly get a tissue. To the extent of you can carry your own Dettol or Savlon along with you in a small bottle. That is why women, we carry bags a lot. So that when you are visiting the washroom, you don't know who might have visited the place, because this infection we are talking about, when deposited, cannot see with a naked eye. So when you go, you clean the toilet seats, clean it very well. Please, those of us, because of that, we are fan of standing on the toilet seat, please. So that one, don't go to that extent. Please, just clean it. And then after you finish, you wipe yourself. Some people will just finish, and then they are residue of the urine. And as Doc said, as they stay in there, microorganisms takes opportunity, they grow, and that is where the infection comes. And then you make sure that your personal hygiene, that one there, any law be about me, the samranaba, or 2 days, 3 days before I bath. No, it's a must every day, at least twice a day. You make sure that you bath morning and evening, and change your undies. Very, very, very important. So take the personal hygiene, especially around the perineal area, very serious. Change your pad as often as possible during menstrual watch. Somebody can keep a whole day one pad. Please, blood is also a fluid, microorganism grows on it. So the more you, the pad is not soaked. Now pad is expensive. So you are carrying the whole day one pad. The microbes are growing. So after the menses, then an infection of the candida also can come out of it. And then when you have the candida and you are being treated, mostly those who have repeated one, we advise that you change as soon as you start the treatment. Make sure you change all those, including your sponge, your towel, because they have been hiding in these items you are using. So once you started the treatment, they are there waiting for you. As soon as the treatment, you goes by using those items, then they say, here am I, I've come again. So mostly it's advisable that once you start the treatment, you change from your undies to your sponge, your towel, so that you can get a fresh start. And then don't get repeated ones. It can affect your fertility. Thank
Okay.
you.
We'll
I don't
take
know
this
if
in.
I'm answered.
Yes, please. Please, the microphone. Okay. Oh, please, you can stand there. We didn't have enough, that's why.
Thank you very much. I have a little contribution and also a question. The contribution is on the side of the treatment of this infection thing. When I got married, for the first 6 to 8 months, we were not seeing any show. My in-laws were giving pressure that their daughter is not getting pregnant. The grandmother even had to call and say, "Gentleman, are you a man or a woman?" And I said, "I'm a man." I said, "What shows that you are a man? We have given our daughter for 8 months, no show." And it was all about, when I took her for treatment, two key things were discovered. Number one, advanced infection of candida. And number two, some kind of high level of caffeine in her blood. Then she told me, this when she was a student, this candida, she would treat it, to come back, and then she would go to hospital, give her this. After 3 days, it will go, then she will stop, then it will come back. So at that time, she didn't take it serious until marriage, and it was now causing problem with conception. And then she was saying that anytime she was a student from level 100 to 400, even SS, her drink, the best thing she takes is coffee, Nescafe, so that she will not sleep. And so over the years, she said she can take Nescafe 3 times in a day. And so the caffeine was now high in the blood, and it was also impeding conception. And so some of you who are students and you are behaving in this area, take them seriously. And then...
Hello, Dog, don't go too personal.
Okay, but
If
sometimes it
possible.
helps.
It helps,
It
though,
helps.
but at least.
Thank you. And in terms of the hepatitis B and C, I don't even think that we should wait till you get to marriage before you screen, because these things have the tendency of even affecting your liver, whether you are married or not. So I advise that at this age, you even go and screen yourself for hepatitis B and C. If you are negative, then you get the opportunity to do the vaccinations over a period of time, and then you are safe. By the time you reach marriage, you know that those ones are already covered. That's my contribution. Okay. Doc, in your presentation, you spoke about the blood grouping and then the result factor. So sometimes people give birth and they say that the eyes are blue, they have to wait, and they don't understand. Me, for one, I am AA, my wife is AA. We are both O positive, O positive.